Hey there everyone, I hope you're doing well. I'd like to apologize right off the bat for the lighting in this video. I usually use daylight for these card videos, but the sun went down so we're going off of indoor light. Regardless, I think it'll work just fine for what I have planned today. I wanted to make a video outlining the differences between English and Japanese cards, and you may be surprised to find that the differences go well beyond what language that the cards are printed in. So if you see here, I have two Mimikyu. They're the exact same card, except this one's from Japan and this one is English. You'll notice right off the bat that not only is the language different, but the borders are different. The English card is yellow, while the Japanese one is white. I think these both look pretty good. It definitely surprised me the first time I opened a Japanese pack, because I had never heard before that the Japanese cards used a white border, but it looks very nice. I think I prefer the yellow just because I'm nostalgic like that, but they are both very, very cool. The next thing I kind of want to talk about is the cards themselves, how they're made. So the other thing that caught me off guard is this seems much more flimsy than the English card. And it took a minute to take a look and figure out why. Now I'm not sure if I can get it to show up on camera, unfortunately, but if you look at your own English card, you'll notice on the edge that it is like two white stripes with a gray film between them. I can't quite get it to pop up on camera, but yeah, if you look at the bordering, and basically what that is the paper of each side, and it's got like a gray film in the middle. That makes it a little more robust, makes it feel a bit more like paper. Now, the Japanese card does not have that gray film. It's solid white in the middle, which means that it's a bit more pliable, a bit more flexible. And then of course, while we're pointing out differences, I didn't even think about this. The backs of the cards are very different as well. English and Japanese. Japanese have changed their back quite a few times. I don't think the English back has ever changed. Maybe a little bit, but yeah, so you'll notice that the cards are made differently other than just looking different. They got a different feel to them, so that's something to keep in mind as well. The next thing I kind of want to point out here is another difference in how the cards are made. Right here, try to get it without too much glare, I have two Evelyn cards. This one I pulled in my last GX Ultra Shiny unpacking video, and this one I got from, I want to say, Ultra Prism. Now, you may notice some differences right off the bat. Basically, the English cards, full art specifically in these later expansions, use a ridging texture for their cards. So if I pull this out, you'll probably see it a little better. You can see all those ridges there. That's called a textured card. Now, people akin the English texturing to like a cheese grater because it's very obvious that it is textured. The ridges are very easy to feel and notice, while the Japanese is much more subtle. They're still there, like you can still see the texture, but it's much, I guess we could call it scaled down from the English one. And you'll notice a few things about that. So if I hold these cards side by side, again, hopefully without too much glare, you'll notice that the Japanese one is quite a bit more colorful. The English one's a lot more blue, while this one is kind of all over the place. And you'll also notice a few details that are harder to spot in the English card. For example, that ivy on the wall behind the character there to the left of her head. I didn't even notice it when I got the English card a few months ago. But yeah, so this is a detail that's easier to see now that the ridging is more subdued. It's an interesting trick. I think that they both have their merits, but it is important to notice that the English cards are quite a bit more intense in that regard. The last thing I kind of want to talk about is the rarity indicators on these cards. So if you've been gathering English cards for a while, you'll notice the symbol on the bottom left that indicates rarity, the circle, the diamond, the black star, and the white star. In Japan, they don't quite have that. And instead of having the set list icon, so next to that Mimikyu that shows you what set it's from, it'll just say, if I can get my camera to focus, SM8B, I believe that's the set, and then over here it says SR, so that would be like a white star. In fact, I believe on my English Evelyn, yeah, there's a white star right there. It's kind of hard to see, again, because of the ridging. But I mean, when you look at these two side by side, the detail on this one is much more obvious. Almost looks like a barber pole, just because it's way more subdued. The colors are way more vibrant and all over the place. I think they both look good. I actually don't know which I prefer more. Looking at them like this, I kind of prefer the Japanese, but that is something to keep in mind as well when you're comparing these cards. But anyway, those are just some of the differences I spotted. I didn't know anything about them when I got into collecting these Japanese cards and thought I'd make a video because it was kind of hard for me to find information about the physical differences between these cards as well. So hopefully you can glean something from this. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the next one.